Every living creature has its own distinct features. Birds have feathers and some fly according to the direction of the wind. The meerkats are mammals who are very community organized, and there is always one on the lookout for predators. Frogs are amphibians and are in nearly every range of color. The snake is a reptile and is the most feared creature on earth, but this wasn't always the case and didn't always crawl on its belly. It used to be one of the most beautiful creatures to look at, for it originally had wings and every culture on earth was aware of this. In Babylon in Asia, in the east, the serpent was winged. Quetzalcoatl was a winged serpent god in Mexico in Central America. In Egypt and North Africa they also worshipped a winged serpent, and in pagan Rome in southern Europe there was a winged serpent, as well as in papal Rome. We are taught that animals have evolved, but over thousands of years they have shrunk. These two scientists from the Smithsonian Institute compare the size of the femur of an ostrich and the extinct elephant bird of Madagascar. And even when we compare the size of their eggs, the ostrich egg on the left is dwarfed. Sloths are mammals that can be found in South America. They can climb trees, crawl, and even swim. But the extinct giant sloth, one of the largest land creatures that walked Earth, weighed as much as an African elephant. This is a red deer with its distinct antlers just relaxing in London's Richmond Park. But the largest deer that ever lived, the extinct Irish elk, had giant antlers that are over 3 meters in length and just over 10 feet. Butterflies are flying insects that develop through a stage called metamorphosis, and they can fit comfortably in the palms of our hands. But the extinct flying insect called the Meganeura had a wingspan of 70 centimeters long, and alongside modern man it is huge. But was man always of the average height of 6 foot? Sometimes films may be a slight exaggeration of someone's fantasy for solely entertainment purposes, but was there ever a time where the whole of mankind was a lot taller in stature to how we see mankind today? Some still grow to some extraordinary heights, such as this Afghan alongside a US soldier, and the late basketballer Manute Bol from the Sudan, and the tallest man of modern times Robert Wadlow in the United States. And in remote parts of the world they have discovered some men who have been huge in height. Even in some museums there have been discovered a number of huge skulls, and they've also discovered huge footprints of dinosaurs alongside human footprints. And some of the earliest records of mankind have documented this and have preserved it in stone. The English scientist Sir Isaac Newton is known as the greatest mind in the modern world, and in his search for truth he invented calculus, discovered the laws of optics, the laws of motion, and the laws of gravity before he was even 26 years old, and documented it in his Mathematical Principles of Natural Philosophy. George Washington Carver was a scientist, botanist, and inventor who discovered over 300 uses for the peanut, soybean, and sweet potato. And for his genius, he was courted by many in corporate America and highly respected and praised by the President of the United States. But in his deep studies of the intricacy of how nature works, the speed of light, the Earth's magnetic field, the plant and vegetable kingdom, sedimentary and metamorphic rocks, like Newton, they both conclude that it was God who created it all, and God has set something in place so that mankind will never forget who designed everything on earth and in the heavens, the seventh-day Sabbath, and he pleads with all mankind to come back to the creator of creation.